morning everyone, and welcome back to the Urban Homesteading channel with Professor DIY, moi, Mrs. DIY, and Mrs. Elvira. Alright guys, where did you put my coffee? I know I had it right here.
I don't know where you put it.
And we are so well organized here, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine.
The story of our life.
It's a bright red cup.
Why is it in a box of tools?
Well, I'm sure one of you put it there.
Ha! Why would I put your coffee in tools?
I have no idea. So today we are going to make an addition, an addendum to our already marvelous ultimate organization project, right? We're going to make it more marvelous. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a small shelf on wheels that will be purpose built to carry boxes like this and chemicals and car fluids and
Smaller items that don't necessitate a huge bin to store them in, something that we can see them and access them easily.
because even with only 12 inches depth here, we already start not knowing what is in the back, right?
Well, we got a lot of stuff to organize yet.
Right, so
So when you say small shelf on wheels, what you're really talking about is kind of a rack that's having multiple shelves
yeah,
on wheels that matches the style of this.
as much as we can match it, yeah.
Okay.
So stick around. This is going to be a fun episode if we don't kill each other. And you are still my favorite viewer. So using mostly 2x3s that we had as scrap, and even using them to create all this detail here, we created this organizer that actually can move around. Now, the astute among you will say, you made it crooked, but we didn't. It is on a garage floor, and it has a tilt on the floor, right? Mm-hmm. But actually it is not tilted at all.
Nope, it's just on the slope.
So stick around. We are going to show you, like always, every step of the way. How much it can be, I guess, is that the right size or it can be half of this?
I guess the sides don't matter.
How much
the
you-
middle matters, but the sides can
How
be
much
smaller.
this has to be? How much out of the lip it comes?
But
Can you
it's
hold it?
about a centimeter. I don't know.
This
Yeah,
is what I'm asking.
yeah,
Because we need
half inch.
the width of this plus 2 times this for our width.
Right.
All right, so I'll hold it and do not see that. You don't see the measuring tape. I'm talking to the video. 16 will be plenty, right?
16 is probably too much.
Okay. Too much is
15 and
better.
a half.
Too much is better than too little.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be exact, right? Let's go. We want this unit to be coming out on wheels. We don't want to go all the height of this unit, but we decided that this will be probably a reasonable height, right? Mm-hmm. We need a little bit of clearance, so we're going to cut them to this arbitrary height, whatever that
But
is.
we will need to adjust for the wheels. That's a good mark so that we know where our height is, but then we still have to adjust
Okay.
for the wheels.
We need to adjust for the wheels.
Otherwise, it'll be up here.
Yeah. Mark. And we're taking our wheel. And again, we're not measuring anything, as you can see. So we need to cut them down this,
Right.
whatever
And that
this
will
is.
account for the height. That,
Correct.
The difference with the wheel on.
And then we'll cut all 4 of the support.
Well, not necessarily. Remember, we have a slant. We have to cut 2, and 2, the other 2 will be a little longer.
Okay.
Or we don't care if it is.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. If the vacuum was on, it would work much better.
We did a bang-up job getting it hooked up to the hose and then failed to turn it on.
Yeah, we sure did.
The story of our lives, right? Remove it, please. Again, the vacuum. And those pieces will be all for that dimension will be just short of 12 inches, right? Mm-hmm. We'll go in between. So
Okay.
let's bring a piece and mark it.
Where'd you put the pencil?
No idea.
I can't play this game all day.
Sure you can.
No, you cannot.
Do you have it? All right, let us find our pencil.
Found it.
Found it. You found it.
And we're making a small mark or a big mark. Let's cut a piece, dry fit it, and we'll need several pieces at the
And
length
that's
anyway.
going to be the brace that goes between the two studs,
Well, yeah,
right?
it would be more than one place.
Right, but that's the header.
Right. Oh, now I'll see that turns the vacuum on. Don't rock the jukebox. Okay, slightly out there. Can we make one just a tad?
Yeah? Like how much?
2 blade lengths. Widths, not length.
That would be interesting if there was blade width and blade length, right?
Not shorter, longer.
I know.
I know. Okay, I'm buying that.
I was gonna say we have one somewhere in this endless box maze.
Okay,
Is that better?
that is perfect.
That is perfect. Excellent.
So we need at least 3 more of these.
Okay.
So we're going, Elpida is going to cut using that piece that we like, the dimension, 3 more. And we're going to start assembling the side. We're going to do the same on the other side. And we're going to move forward from there. Don't cease me.
Cease. How you say it in Greek?
Exit.
Exi.
All right, so now we need to decide the width. What did we decide?
We already did the width. You mean okay.
The width.
The width.
The width. And we might not have to make an adjustment. I see here it's
We originally said 16.
okay.
Yeah.
So but not inside. This is 16 inside, yeah, 16 inside. Okay. So let's cut a piece.
At 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
So garage floors, as you know, have a tilt, right?
A slant.
A slant to allow the water to exit. And I was thinking that the 2 studs here had to be a different side, a slightly different side to account for that. But putting a level, so it's a very, very small, it makes no difference. It will complicate the design. So we're going to leave them all the same dimension.
It's negligible
Right.
in this case because it's not very wide. If it was wider, like 6 feet, it would make a difference.
Right, but this doesn't,
Yeah.
So we're going to have them all the same dimension, simplify things.
Yep.
Excellent.
This is what we had to buy. This was available.
So one of our piece of lumber was full of staples. Thank you, Lowe's, right?
Actually, there were 2 of them because they were kind of stapled together.
They were stapled together. Yep, sure were.
Brilliant.
Yes, they were.
That just avoided my toes.
Well,
That's why you shouldn't wear open-toed shoes.
You
in
mean
the
these are not
shop.
also approved?
They are not.
Ah, okay. So we're using our clamps to hold it in the correct angle.
And align this.
And we're going to use 4-inch screws to secure
these 2 pieces because this is 2.5 inches wide.
Are we gonna do 1 or 2?
I prefer 2, but it's up to you.
Well, that depends where I put it, so.
going to do that all around.
So we've got this side and then the bottom one to do on this. And then
Okay.
we've got 2 more to do on the other supports. And then we'll come back and show you the next step.
So we are about to complete the carcass. And this has not been without its challenges, right?
Primarily
Not at
because of
all.
the quality of the wood.
What do you mean? We always buy the cheapest quality wood we can find.
Well, this was the end of the ends at Lowe's when we bought all this wood, so
And it looks like mice chewed it up, but you know,
yeah, and it's a little bit twisted and
a little bit.
yeah,
It's as twisted as a politician, man.
yeah.
So when you finish with the frame, you start putting horizontals in any size you want to fit your material, right?
Right?
In our case, we have a special project for this top one. We have about 12 of these containers, and we're going to build a storage specifically for them, so we can remove each of them individually without having to remove all of them one at a time, right?
Right. They won't be touching each other.
So we're going to show you this, and if you have something similar, that's a great way to do it. No point to give you the dimensions because they're very specific to us, right? So we're not going to give you dimensions, but
But we'll give you the design so that you can create it,
Right.
customize it for your own needs.
and you get the idea. This is upside down now, but
Right.
we're going to have 2 next to each other going 8 up, no, 6 up,
2 stacks of 6 for 12.
Yep.
because math. So for our purpose, we created another vertical piece, and we're going to create one for the back as well, identical, and it's going to support the middle for our sliders, right? We're creating sliders for those boxes. So we're going to go and cut another piece, and we're going to be right back. I'm been framed again and jailed. But anyway, we're moving slowly, right?
Right. So we put a stile up in the middle. We found the middle and we put it precisely there. And because this is such a small piece, we couldn't, it would be very difficult to put big screws through the top down into this and be right on target. So we did use pocket screws here, which made it pretty easy.
Easy for you to say.
And so now we're going to do
The same.
the back side.
All right. As you know, we're the channel that show you mistakes, and this was a little short, really too little to warrant cutting another piece. So we use small slivers of wood that we use when we square lumber, right? And they make perfect seams, and we'll be able to score it and take it off. It will not be visible in the end, right?
Right.
But now we have the 2 verticals. This is DIY, I call them styles, and that's a correct terminology. And now we're going to start using the rails, right?
Yep.
We call those styles.
the rails, yep.
Okay, excellent. So our next step is that we made 4 story sticks that will establish the height that we need so we can pass our buckets through. And here is going to decide how much, where we're going to put our other verticals, horizontals. Okay? Now, this was a necessary step for us, and it took quite a big time because I didn't want to buy small pieces of wood, and I had plenty of 2x3s. We cut 2x3 scraps that we had around into the necessary square pieces to support our boxes. So while this took a little time and was a little tedious, in the end it worth doing because we did not spend any money, but we used existing scrap, which is always my preferred method. If I can use scraps, I will use scraps rather than go and spend money to buy something specialized. If you have a table saw, the table saw excels in this function, as you can see here. It makes a quick work of it, even though we have made over 25. It didn't take a long time, but it did take a little bit of time, and I'm not a very patient person. And this is how you make your shirt be accurate, right?
Right.
I'm covered in sawdust, and we transformed a couple of
2x3s.
offcuts of 2x3s into square dowels. right? And that's the reason, by the way, why smaller wood is more expensive, because it takes more time to process, right? So this is the base. I think we need to cut them in half, right? So there's a little more cutting.
Well, we'll have to cut them to size that matches this member that we already measured for this side to side, this horizontal.
Okay.
So now we're going to cut these to match this.
All right.
And we should
And
have
do
more
we have
than
enough?
We should have more than enough.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we should have enough.
Yeah, we should.
So we're bundling in groups of 4 just to save a little bit of time. And we are cutting the longer dowels we made into the correct dimension we need. Again, trying to save time is a good idea. Yes. Rinse and repeat. The top piece is our story stick and everything is cut to that dimension. So it's important that your story stick is correct.
Snap. Sorry for the dance people, but closed space and a few hands.
Sorry. Okay.
Maybe that one again a little bit further out because it came out this side. That's better, thank you.
Okay. And I'm going to set these back up. And reposition. Yeah, that's about half. Okay. I'll hold this in place. So those are the first
came out?
2 rails that we
A
have.
little bit, that's okay.
And
All
the
right.
whole idea is that we're gonna use this spacer
it again.
to do the next one. We'll set it on top of this and just keep going up until we have enough on this side for the 6, and then again on this side.
So this is the idea, right? Each of them can move independently of the other, as you can see. And that gives us a much greater flexibility of how we store, how we access things.
So each one of these is supported by one of these cross members on either side.
And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and all our 12, what do you call them? Doohickeys? Containers are going to be perfectly stored.
And accessible, which
And
is the
accessible.
important part, right?
Well, yeah.
So because we cut these supports to be a little bit snug, a little percussive persuasion is required. That's okay.
So we're trying to finish this using scraps. Part of our design here is we want it to be bottom heavy, right? So we're going to put our automotive fluids down there that will create nice space for them and weight. And we definitely have space for 1, maybe even 2 more shelves, right? So we're using scraps we have instead of putting a solid floor and use our plywood, which is a very expensive wood, you know. We're trying this way. And that is perfect. It allows air to circulate, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to finish this shelf and we're going to show you the next. Showing you how to build the frame and how to customize things if you want. Of course, you can just put shelves in any orientation you want. And you can have them open like we have the two bottom shelves. This shelf we're going to use a piece of scrap we've had for 6 months and we've not used. So it's overkill for what we're using it, but it's going to be used, right? So, and what we're going to use is that piece there. Can you see it?
Yep.
And we're going to slide it between those two horizontal pieces and make a solid shelf. So this is the finished project. Again, very personalized for us. You can have all shelves like this, right? Flat, full and solid. Or you can have all shelves like this. You don't have to have this, but this is what I wanted, right? Mm-hmm. But I still think this is a great idea if you have a lot of little containers of the same size. And of course you can be finished here, right? Especially if you live in an apartment or something, because this is movable, you can take it with you. It's not very heavy, as you can see. Or you can put wheels on it, which is what we are going to do. So the next step is for us to attach the wheels. We'll go in each corner. That's pretty straightforward. So we did the caster installation off camera because this is straightforward, right? We just attach it with screws. And we put swiveling casters so it can easily move all around the garage wherever we want it, right? Now we're going to put it on the floor and see if it works or not.
Okay. Ta-da!
With a baby little moving shelf. And even when I push it on the top, it doesn't want to topple. So I think that's good.
All right.
I want to show you why on wheels, and initially what we did in this shelf was what I wanted to do, but then it morphed into something else. You see, if this is static, we're 3 deep. We don't know what is in the back, right? But with this being on wheels, it becomes much easier immediately to see what we have and then put it back in its spot, right? Mm-hmm. So that is the advantage. So we reached the end of our video, and this is our final product, right? It changed a little bit in scope of what I wanted. I wanted to do something like this to organize small bottles, and probably I should build it smaller for that, right? But then I decided I wanted to do this, which is great to have as well. But in any case, it shows how customizable that thing is, right? You can build it. We show you how to start and how to finish it. And from that point on, the sky is the limit, right? What is neat is we can move it out of the wall, see what is around. We don't have to empty everything from itself, right? What was the hardest part of the build, ladies?
I think that the rails, fitting the rails for this customized container section was probably the hardest.
What was time consuming? Was it hard really?
Well, just making sure that you calculate correctly
Right,
so that you have
calculating the spaces in
space.
between and the dimensions of the rails was a little tricky.
Right. But then using those obviously makes
Once
it
we figured it out,
yeah,
we
yeah.
made
My pocket.
ourselves a
Yeah.
block that told
Yeah.
us what to do each time.
Okay, beginner, intermediate, or advanced build?
I think kind of intermediate.
Fun build or not?
Could be.
Could be.
Could be, yeah. And the cost really was very
Well,
small.
for us it was zero because
Except for the wheels.
except for the wheels, we were $8.
Okay.
At Harbor Freight, I buy usually my wheels like that at Harbor Freight because they tend to be even cheaper than Amazon, to be honest.
Right.
And we've never had problems with them.
Nope.
So, absolutely, to me, it worth the effort. And what I like about these swiveling casters, even if you make a very long one, you can put more than 4 to support it, and it will move easily wherever you want it to go, right?
Yeah.
Well, friends, this is our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and if we did, we'll appreciate the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know, do you like episodes like this? And we will make more in the future. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY in Elpida, let's organize something.